Hey, and I'm probably gonna be here for another week because I gotta get my car fixed and I have a lot of shit going on.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? All right, man. Shout out to Jay Biggs, man, for the intro right there, man. I was gonna give him props. He did that for me about 2 years ago, man. I'm still running with it, man. No need to change what is already great. So what's up to everybody, man? Got a couple of topics I wanted to tackle solo. First and foremost, we do have a show tomorrow, Friday at 8 p.m., where we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. And the ladies and another homeboy of mine will be on that. But today you got me solo. So if you stay, you're just hearing me. We're going to talk about the end of the year awards here in Columbus, Georgia. We're going to talk about Michelle Obama versus Netflix. And we're going to talk about Glorilla versus her family. So the first comment that I'll get to those when I can. Remember, you guys can put your comments down. I'll read them. We all respectful here, but hey, I don't mind debating. I don't mind differences of opinions. So let's get to it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the end of the year awards. Shout out to Michael Soul for doing a wonderful award show. It went a little different than normal award shows. There were no speeches, but there was because there was so many different categories. So, I mean, from everything from school teacher of the year to um, professionals and other fields, estheticians, all of that. A lot of different fields were represented. So, shout out to him for taking the time, him and his wife, to count all those votes and do what he had to do for that. It was at Echoes Event Center. So, shout out to Kiara. She did a thing, nice event, got some good pictures. Most people were there were suited and booted and did their thing. You guys know I've lost a lot of weight, so now I feel a little more comfortable coming from behind the camera to do things. Most of the time, you guys just heard my voice. Now you guys are gonna see me a little more, and that was one of the things that I was able to really do. My first time really stepping out in that way. Shout out to Tamara Nicole, what's up? Shout out to Johnny Walton, what's good? How you doing today? So, I did win. Let me talk my little shit for a little bit. Remember, this the podcast, y'all. This ain't on radio, so I'm gonna curse a little bit from time to time. But I'm gonna talk my shit. I was able to win a podcast of the year. Appreciate everybody who voted for me. Appreciate everybody who didn't. Appreciate everybody who watches. Appreciate everybody who doesn't. I do try to. I do a lot of different type of content, but the hot seat in particular is my favorite because that is the one that is most true to my natural personality. You're going to get a little bit of everything. Yeah, we're going to be intelligent. Yeah, I'm going to speak my mind. We're going to debate, but we're going to get a little wild from time to time. So I do love this platform. So the haters, y'all been out here. Y'all been doing y'all thing, but just to let you know, you ain't stopping no motion. I'm doing what I'm doing without your permission, with your validation. I have no ill will and no hate to anybody. You know, everybody do their thing. In this field, you have to have a tough skin because what I do and what I'm talking about, a lot of times people aren't going to like. I tell everybody the first show I ever did on the show called 706 was child support. Is it a broke chick hustle or means to an ends? That was very controversial at the time. When people hear that title, they get upset. But once they heard the fullness of the things that I was saying, you know, the conversation was able to get through. But when they just heard that title. And that was the first thing I ever talked to a group of, 100 people that I didn't know, and the first thing that they heard. So I'm going to say things that people don't agree with. But whether it's carrying receipts or being able to articulate my point. Anybody want to go one-on-one, I'm here for it. Now, winning this was very special to me because this is an award for my city. I love my city. All right. I don't get on here bashing my city. I don't get on here talking about Columbus this, Columbus that. Everything that Columbus has, Atlanta has, as far as bad stuff. There's crime being committed every city. There are haters in every city. There are people that don't support you in your city, in every city. Okay? That is everybody. Shout out to Terrence Bennett. What's good with you, Playboy? That's everywhere. So I don't get discouraged with that. The ones that actually support, I'm going to focus on you guys. And thank you guys for being able to help me establish a true media platform. Now I'm moving into politics and doing interviews, which I've always been doing since the beginning, but now I'm starting to become more known for that. And just like any of my other content, I say I'm the type of person, I've literally interviewed the mayor of the city and a sex worker in the same day. That's what you're going to get from me. I'll come on one day, I'm talking about one thing, interviewing a sexologist, got some real crazy stuff coming up soon. And then I can have, the mayor or a politician. There are different platforms, there are different things, but I'm going to be on all of them. And I tell each one of them that I do this stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch, no problem. I ain't in nobody way. I'm in my own lane. And I got multiple ones of them. So you ain't going to block me from whatever it is that I need to do, whatever it is that I need to take it, however I need to do. Artist, shout out to Rock. What's up with you? Shout out to Braden. Eden, what's up, man? I interview business people, small, big businesses. I interview artists. I pull up. I show up sometimes for no fee. And I show support. So I've been doing my due diligence in who I am. I've earned my stripes to say the things that I say. So you don't always have to like it. But I promise you, I put in the work to say the things that I say and to do the things that I say. People, you should know. I go live all the time. I'm doing what I got to do. But this award, and I got to address this. First time I won, I think it was in 21 or 22, newbie coming in as far as this type of content. First thing was said, he knew he's on the back of another show. That's how he got it. The next year when I won, it was, that's your homeboy. The third year I won some type of award, whether it was radio or if it was on podcasting, it was said that, I'm out here paying people to vote for me. This year, I don't know what you guys are going to say. They didn't have some award shows about 2 years. I don't know what y'all going to say on this. But popularity contest, I've been hearing that thrown around. Listen, that's how you get votes. It's by being popular. It's by people seeing your stuff. I hope they vote for you because of the content. I hope anybody that voted for me is because of my content, that you actually like it, not because you think you're going to get anything or whatever. But I do the same thing also. Shout out to Matthew Sanchez, the finalist that I went against. Love his platform. Love what he does. We do different things. He tends to focus on therapy and making yourself better, that type of content. I love that also. Everybody has their own lane. Speaking of Matthew Sanchez, Taisha Bryant was just on his show recently. She just sent me, and I liked it and I watched. And he's doing his thing. And Miss Taisha Bryant was on his show. All right, self-help. He loves to have counselors, people like that. He's been on a podcast with Ayana and Oprah, like doing big things. Shout out to him and what he's doing. Brad Levi, that is one of a multi-talented guy, DJing, as well as videography. Bruh can film your wedding and play for it at the same time. Set up. So y'all make sure y'all hit him up. Ms. Bryant has some events going on coming up. I will be posting. I will be doing some media for her and doing her things. Like, that's what I do. I support and I show other people love. And thank you guys for showing the same thing back to me. So again, I wanted to address the end of the year awards real quick before I got into the content. Thanks, Michael Soul. Thanks to everybody who voted. Thanks to everybody who didn't vote. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to leave it at that. Now, we're gonna get to first topic is Michelle Obama versus Netflix. Reason why I want to talk about this is it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter your position. At the end of the day, you still your skin color. All right. Now I want to ask y'all this: what is the difference between Melania's biography, biopic, whatever, and Miss Obama's? I'm gonna wait on the comment or something. What's the difference? Because one was put in an adult category that comes on top 10, right? It's being pushed to everybody's algorithm. That's crazy. But then all of a sudden, Miss Obama's is put under children, kids. Talk to me. Y'all let me know why. I don't understand this because it's the same type of follow your life, talk about who you are. They're both the same. I've not watched them both in entireties, but I've seen about 20 minutes skipped around a piece of both. Try to catch some in the beginning, middle, to the end before I came on here. Right? There's no difference. So why is it that they're not treated the same? So I got a problem with Netflix right now. I have multiple problems because I shouldn't be paying $30, for the full subscription when this thing started off at $4.99, then it went to $7.99, then it was $11.99, then it was $14.99. They keep raising it up every other year. So I'm already pissed out on it with that. Half the time I can't share my code anymore with anybody if you're not real close. They're cutting down on that. So you don't charge people $25 now. And then you pulling this. Now you're hiding stuff from me that I want to see. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Because in my opinion, all right, don't have any facts, but this is how I feel on this one, all right? There is no difference between watching the parts that I've watched. There is no difference. There was no reason to put that in the kids category. Now, I went through, I tried to figure out, is there any way that helped her in any way? By everything that I looked at, that would keep the streams down because it would only be pushed to children. It would not be pushed towards adults necessarily, unless that type of movie is already in your algorithm or that type of, just say movie for now, but documentaries. Now, if you watch documentaries, it's a chance that it could be pushed in your algorithm, but it will go to children first. And that will limit the amount of people that are really going to see yours. It's not the first thing that would come up. DJ Chop was good. So that's an issue that I have. We got to do better, y'all. We have to do better. We have to hold these people accountable when they're making decisions like this. But we're going to just go past and we're not going to say anything about it. We're going to be cool. We don't have no problem. See who I miss. Anthony Rodriguez, what's good, man? I ain't mean to miss you. Brother, just in the middle of a topic. Y'all tell me what that problem is or what that issue is, and I'll read the comments so we can go back and forth on that. But this ain't gonna be too long. The next topic that I want to discuss about, we're gonna talk about Glorilla versus her family. Now, the last couple of days, Glorilla's sister has been on the news, been on everywhere, social media. She made a couple of posts. Those posts went viral. Then she did some lives. I've seen two. I don't know if there's any more. Basically, Glorilla's sister is accusing Glorilla of not helping the family when the family is in need, and particularly her. And so there's multiple people in the family that she hasn't helped. She's not the person that she pretends to be. She's left them out in Memphis, fending for themselves. To give full context of the situation, before I go into my part of what I think, Glorilla put some text out showing other family members were saying thank you for helping them out. If you go through Glorilla's pages and stuff, it seems like she does do things for her father. You've seen some family that's there. So you have what Glorilla is showing, and then you have what the family or a couple of people in her family is saying. Now, the first thing off the rip, I've done a previous show talking about, do you have a responsibility to the community? All right. And I want to compare this. It's not apples and oranges to me. They're very parallel, because in that conversation, when I was talking about, do you have a responsibility to your community? Most people were saying, no, you have a responsibility. You don't have a responsibility. Okay. You can help. But first and foremost, you handle your house. You make sure your house is handled first, and then you can help. But you don't have a responsibility. That's what I was told. That's what I kept hearing from multiple people. Now, there's a lot of nuance to this, but let me start off with, first and foremost, I don't think anybody has an obligation to anyone besides themselves or a relationship that you have taken front and center in. If you're a single person, you only have responsibility to yourself at the end of the day. Now, once you do things like have children, and once you do things like you get a wife or you get a long-term girlfriend, and girlfriend gets a boyfriend or gets a husband, now you have duties and responsibilities besides just yourself, because you have taken a oath, a vow, a contract, or a social contract, which is boyfriend and girlfriend, to help that person out. So you should be helping them because of the titles that you have taken. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. In this case, this is a daughter. Okay, we're not talking about a mom. We're not talking about something like that. Now, I personally, because let me distinguish this. Shout out to SMG. What's up? Personally, I believe you should help your family. All right. If there's no abuse going on, I believe in helping your family. I don't think there's nothing wrong if I got some extra. I got to handle me first. I got to handle my house first. I got to handle my family first that I've chosen to go out and have. Now, after that, then I can go back and help others. The problem is that sometimes we be trying to help others and we get drained before we have really reached where we're at. A prime example, you can go broke helping mama, daddy, sister, brother, second cousin on the other line, and all of that, before you have reached the true apex. Now, we can say that she has reached the true apex, right? Her net worth is estimated at $10 million. However, the other side of that is, when we're talking about liquidity, walk around with cash, that type of stuff, that's not how it works. A lot of people just don't have $100,000 to help buy you a house, or, can just be buying you $20,000, $30,000 cars just because. And that is where it starts, the gray area starts coming. We also have to understand the principle of people being able to help themselves. When I give people things, It's just like your children or just like whoever, right? When you give people something, sometimes a lot of times it seems they have to keep asking. A lot of times it's better to teach or to show how to do something. I'm not going to give you this money necessarily, or I'm going to give you this money right now for this thing, but we're going to focus on you learning the skill of the trade so that you don't have to come to me. That's why I don't believe in gatekeeping information. Anybody who's ever wanted to do podcasting, they want to know what mic they should have, they want to know how to get something better or whatever, I'll get the information. I don't care. But everybody, not necessarily like that. But for me, I will. I'd rather show you what I've done than if you're trying to make some moves in the waves and then just doing it for you. Y'all ain't never had that child that keep coming to ask you to do something, you keep doing it for them, and then finally it clicks like, it's draining for me to keep doing this same thing for you. But what I can do is I can teach you. We can talk about financial stability. How you do that when you based on your income level. It's not my income level, it's that I save my money and I do what I have to do. And I make fiscal financial decisions so I can have an office, so I can get some equipment, so I can get a new phone, so I can get a camera, so I can do all these things. Hell, I need a new laptop right now. Whatever issues that's coming on this computer right now, if it freezes or whatever, it's because my laptop is crappy. I got to get a new one. I have to think ahead of time. I need to save some money. So instead of buying them new shoes, I might have to wear the same jacket to 2 events in a row. But that's more important to do. Y'all make sure y'all send these comments in, man, so I'll get to them. We've got to help our families in ways to be better. If I'm the one who has the money, I've done something, right, to get to that level. I'm trying to help more than just, let me just give you bread. Because giving you bread, you're going to be right back. You know how many people burn through? They say, what is it, 60 to 70% of millionaires, I think it's closer to 70, excuse me. I'll get the exact number and post it. But it was like 68% of millionaire lottery winners are broke within 3 to 5 years. So you telling me you can win $1 million after taxes and you're broke? That's why we shouldn't just be giving people money just because. Now, investing in your business, things of that nature, you come to me with a business plan, show me what you think you're going to do. I got a friend right now. He's a lawyer, straight up. And I know you're going to have a problem with me saying it. Prominent lawyer here. First time I came to him saying, hey, bro, I'm trying to do this podcast stuff, or whatever. He was like, yeah, I know you can talk. But, like, what's your plan? What's your marketing? How do you plan on moving? What equipment do you think you need? How big is your space going to be? You have no plan, brother. This was COVID. Might have been COVID, or might have been right before COVID. So it's about 2020. And he told me straight up, you don't got a plan. So yeah, I know you. I know you're a good dude. I rock with you. But same thing. Kago, what's up? Kago said she isn't obligated to give them a dime. It's nice to, but it's not a requirement. Exactly. You're not required. Y'all gotta stop being mad that somebody else made it and you did it, and you expect for them to drag you upwards. But like, what are you doing for her to give you that money? Are you going to work for her? Are you going to, help out? If she need a new dancer to come in at the last second and learn some choreography, are you going to do that? Can you play an instrument? Can you do any beats? Can you do anything to help? have you helped her career? When she needs a driver, are you available? But these will be the same people that won't help support your career, but be the main people in your inbox asking you for shit. Now, I don't have to worry about that with my bros because we all support each other in what we doing. My youngest brother is like on the anime stuff or whatever. He needs something, we'll rock with him. My middle brother, MMA. Now he's in school for as a medical job, something like that. He gonna kill me. But it's he's in medical school. He's getting ready to graduate in May. Whether it's advice, if it's a few dollars, whatever something needs, we'll all help each other. Like that's what we do. Cause we have that rapport and cool. But y'all also don't understand that every family doesn't have the same dynamics that yours does. So just because yours does something does not mean that another family does. You got siblings that don't agree with nothing with each other since they've been born. You got people in bad family situations where mother and fathers didn't do anything besides have you, and you basically raised yourself. But now you're expected to go and pay for everything that they have and do everything for them. Now, you don't get a new house just because I'm rich, just because you had me. You get a new house because you was a good parent and you did what you were supposed to do. That's how you get a new house. Shout out to D Noel, what's up? That's how you get me spending bread on you. And I'm gonna say perfect parent. Let me let y'all know. There's a difference between a good parent, it's not about being a perfect parent. All right. Some of y'all got some trauma too, because they didn't let me stay up past 11 o'clock. I'm mad at them. Fuck out of here. Y'all get on my nerves. I be having good ass parents and people, and y'all be upset with the little shit. Get on my nerves. But I'm talking about you got decent parents, bruh. You had parents that tried their hardest. We are all flawed. You had brothers and sisters that tended to look out for each other. Yeah, y'all might have argued, y'all might have got into it back and forth time and time, but then nobody else put their hands on you because nobody else do nothing to you. That's how me and my bros was. We might have a knockout, drag out fight. Be straight into it with each other. Guess what? Guess what was gonna happen? Anybody else come step around there, I bet they get laid out. I bet they get told something, laid out, something in some way, form, or fashion. So cool. But back to the original subject, if you didn't have that type of relationship with your people, you especially ain't gonna get nothing. Kago says, family shouldn't expect a handout. They can make themselves useful somehow and earn their keep. Security, makeup, artists, hairdressers, something. Exactly, brother. As an artist, you understand. I guarantee there's some of your family that don't believe in your dream. But when you make it, because I ain't gonna say if, when you make it, right? They're gonna be the first ones. I always believed in you. Knowing they did. I had somebody in my family, right? When I was first getting ready to get started. In my family, gotta reset the camera. These DSLR cameras only go about 30 minutes before they gotta be restarted. Anyway, I had somebody in my family, right? I told them this is what I wanted to do. They were already doing things similar in another state. Wouldn't give me no thoughts for nothing. Wouldn't tell me nothing. This ain't like no bros or nothing like that. These some cousins. Wouldn't give no sauce. Wouldn't put me on, wouldn't none of it. Then all of a sudden, the moment I got on radio, that same person was the first person in my inbox talking about, you're doing a good job. You're damn right I'm doing a good job. Thank you very much. And I did it without you, without any sauce, without nothing. Now, again, should you help if you got good relationships? I won't say should, but you can. But it should not be an obligation. That is my thing. We got to stop feeling obligated to other people's shit. I'm going to say that one more time. Because there might be somebody in the back room. I want you to turn this up, and I want them to hear this. We have to stop being obligated to other people's shit. It ain't yours. You didn't do anything to accumulate what they have, and we got to stop being obligated. Because at the end of the day, all the heartache, all the pain, all the stress in these careers that we have, all the times when you was away from your fam, all the times when you couldn't go do something, you couldn't eat something that you wanted to eat because you had to look right in a certain outfit. All these things that people are never there for, but then they there to do this. I remember one time, some of y'all might not know this, but I used to rap a little bit, used to dabble in it. And even back then, because this is long, long time ago, this is my mid-20s. I'm about to be 40 now. So this is 15 years ago. So excuse me, y'all, my bad. I did a song one time, and basically the song was basically about just how people who didn't believe in you and that be putting you to stress be the same people that come back with their hand out reaching for a blessing. Didn't know how prophetic that was at the time. The same people that don't believe in you, the same people that didn't put a single iota of, of energy. The same ones here asking, can I get an interview? Let me hold something. Now let's address the other side though. When you make it though, I do think you have a responsibility to remember the ones that helped you get there. Because we don't necessarily know everything. We don't know who was writing them verses. We don't know whose idea it was to go to somewhere. Even some place of being at the right place at the right time, being introduced to the right situation. I'll give you an example, and I'll say his name. Johnny Taylor. Johnny Taylor here in Columbus, Georgia. Johnny Taylor Entertainment heard me on a show called 706. First thing, one of our first times that we talked was like, hey, bro, I think you should do radio. I think you have the personality to do it. You're not scared to give your opinion. Do your thing. Introduced me to G Smooth, sent G Smooth an email, that started getting the rolling from there. So if I ever get to the point where this becomes like my only source of income, that's one of the guys that's going to get back. You feel me? I mean, in a positive way. Before y'all try to clip that and go talk some shit. I mean, in a positive way. He's the one that's going to get some cash in his hand. Because I wasn't even thinking about doing radio. I was just like, I'm just going to be like on some shows and, you know, talk my trash and, you know, whatever. He was like, hey, bro, I see enough in you. You don't have to just be the wild, crazy guy. I see why you're doing it. Because that's how social media is and all of that. But you also have another side to you that you can do. You can be the straight lace. You can be the interviewer. You can do these type of things. And so having somebody that believes in you is a wonderful thing. So again, he's one of the people that if this ever takes off to the point where I ain't got to do nothing else, he going to be one of the ones. He going to be everywhere. He gonna have the tickets to the events. He gonna be at the spot. He gonna get invested in his stuff. Because we do have people that forget who helped them get to where they are. Now, I wish, from what I've heard, I wasn't getting that from her sister. I got entitlement. I got, you're not helping me when I'm struggling. Although, you act out here acting like you God's gift to people, her jealousy. I didn't hear like, I'm mad because we've been rocking with you and we helped you to accumulate this and you disappeared. That's the difference. Sometimes anger can make people not articulate their points correctly. So I will give you that. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. The comments ain't come as swiftly and on. I put y'all to sleep or something. What's going on? But yeah. Appreciate everybody, man, who's pulling up, talking. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I'm gonna start doing a call-in line when I'm live, and we can, do these conversations. Or I also have a link that I'm gonna be putting in the chat. So if people want to pull up and give their perspectives, I'll put them up on the screen. We might even try this today real quick since I got a little bit of time. Let me do this right here. All right. Just let you know, any BS will be immediately cut off and blocked. You don't have to agree with me, but we're gonna be respectful. This is the link for today. If anybody wants to come up and pull up, you can click on the link. That is the link right there. I should have probably did this in the beginning of the show, y'all. My bad. I wasn't thinking, but when they start adding new stuff to it, Wayne Week says the damn stud needs to man up, go to work like we do. Ooh. Tamara Nicole says I would never get on a public forum and dog him. Some things are meant to stay in house. Definitely. I think. Oh, because Tamara earlier said as mad as my brother makes me at times, I would never get on a public forum and dog him. Yep, some things are meant to stay in the house. I rock with you. All right, who's gonna click on the link, man? Pull up real quick. Because I'm actually gonna start doing more shows like this, solo content, and then we can pull people up. Because everybody can't always come in. People have lives, families, all that type of stuff, and I understand. Run this like a radio show. But y'all let me know. And what else? There was a couple of other topics. Excuse me, things that were going on. But that thing actually coming up pretty clearly on what's it called? All right, then I ain't even mad. I ain't even turn on my little light, y'all. Let's see what I got. All right, well, I guess ain't nobody gonna click on the link, y'all. But I appreciate everybody that was there. I'll give a brief recap. Obviously, we did Glorilla versus Family, and that was going on. That's what we just talked about. Do you have a responsibility to help your family when you're the one that makes it? And for me, no, you don't. You don't have a responsibility, but I think you should help. But to make it an obligation, no. You have obligation to the family that you have just made, right? Then you can help out after that. Now, I'm not saying be dirty and don't ever help nobody. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. All right. We also covered Michelle Obama versus Netflix. We covered that. All right. Basically, they taking her movie and putting it over to a kid section, which would basically tell people that it will cut down on the algorithm where you won't get it. But that other ladies, the other first lady, hers is out, and hers didn't get changed. Hers was still there. So I don't understand why. What is the difference? I know what the difference is. I just wanted to bring attention to it. Because we sitting here acting like we still gonna pay them that $24.99. Some people got the cheaper one. If you want multiple profiles and all that, you got to go up higher. Then what else we had? We also talked about the end of the year awards, man. Again, I want to say, especially since one of them came up, a few people that's on here, anybody who's ever been part of the show, right now, let me give you a heartfelt thank you. All right, this past year has been a lot of transition, and we got even more coming up. But in trying to upgrade, whether it's audio, visuals, all of that, you guys have been very patient with me. To start off with Jazz, who came and redid the studio, added a little flavor, a little touch. Thank you very much. To Shay, who just pulled up. Thank you very much for your wisdom and the things that you bring. It's a very skilled hairdresser. Shout out to Bree, aka she got a bunch of names. Lord, I'm forgetting them. But anyway, shout out to her. Everybody who was on the show, y'all. Wayne, Tamara Coles came on. Ricky, Lily, just everybody, man. I wanted to do this type of show where I wasn't the only voice every time. Cool solo content like this is fine, but I have blind spots, and I recognize that. I can just be plain wrong. This is an opinionated type show. I try to be as on point as possible, but having especially women on that have different perspectives, that grounds me because I never want to turn into a red pill podcaster. I tell them all the time. All right. I want women's voices to be heard. We don't have to agree. I'm a man at the end of the day. I think differently than you. But having that other perspective allows, I feel, the show to, one, reach more people, but also be actually what real life is. Because in real life, we ain't all getting along. In real life, we don't always agree. In real life, there's other people's opinions that you have to consider when you make moves in most aspects in life. We like to talk that junk and I'm solo, dolo, and I don't care what nobody thinks and stuff like that. That sounds good. But having others' opinions can help mold you in the right way because you ain't right all the damn time. And I have been, I've changed my opinion, my perspective on certain things based on hearing the ladies and some of the fellas talk about certain issues. I have to realize I had a lot of trauma in my young life. So a lot of the ways that I thought was skewed. I thought that toxicity was supposed to be normal. Thought everybody dealt with that. There's people that had positive relationships with the majority of people that was in their lives. And so that antagonistic kind of way of life that I had has been changed since I've been doing this stuff. In the Mirror, live podcast with Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. Seeing his perspective. When I'm on his show, there's things we don't agree with. But having another man that can understand that the way I think isn't necessarily wrong, the way he thinks isn't necessarily wrong, but we can talk about it and have a civil conversation. Because a lot of y'all ain't learned how to have civil conversations anymore. Everything is I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. And things got to get heated, and then ain't nobody learned anything. I can guarantee he's learned some things from me. I've learned some things from him. Even if it's not specific book knowledge, even the perspectives can help you when you're talking to somebody else. That's what we do. That's what we can bring to the table. And shout out to In the Mirror Podcast. Y'all make sure y'all add that podcast. They go on we go on with them every Sunday. Won't be this Sunday because it's Super Bowl. And also they're starting to do a show on Fridays at, I want to say, 8 p.m. also. Now, we're going to be coming on at the same time. But again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It ain't no hate. We loving each other. We helping each other, still supporting each other's podcast. So, again, anybody who I ever done any podcast with, because I can name a lot. Because I know people, I made a comment the other week. I need to address this before I go. And, it was made fun of or whatever about me saying that I've worked with a lot of the podcasters that's around here in this area. And yes, I have. I mean, I can name a bunch of them, whether it's me being on their show, whether it's helping them to start, or whether it's giving advice on whether it could be formatting, it could be just on their personality, it could be some back end stuff, it could be, hey, it's this building that I know has cheap rooms or has big rooms for a good price. So I definitely have. Now, I won't name specifics because I don't want to put nobody out there. I know how you guys get your little clips and do your little funny, jokey joke stuff on and everything like that. So I won't say any specific name. But if I ever really had to do a anything like that, that's what I do. So, like where I'm at, I told people who I'm at. You know what I'm saying? The Studio X kind of buildings and stuff like that. Put people on. That's what we do for each other. So that's what we got to do. So that'll be all for today. I went about 15 minutes longer than I thought I was going to go. Again, I want to say I love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for paying attention to what I do. Little old me. I can say that now because I lost all this weight. It's little old me. And every time, every watch, every like, every share. By the way, please do that. Like and share this. Send it out on that algorithm. It'll help me out a lot. And let's get to it, y'all. And if there's any questions, always know you can inbox me. I always know you can say what you need to say on there. I got y'all. I'm also doing political content, doing things like that. I've got some very big things coming up. We are going to be interviewing some big names. Got some big names coming up, right? I'm very excited for it. Very, very excited. This new turn is a great opportunity for me, and great opportunity for people that I'm working with. I'm working with the Dems, Muskogee County Democratic Party, as their main podcaster and moderator. So yeah, we're gonna be covering all the stuff that we got going on. You got to stand an invitation, brother. All you got to do, we can pull up at the shop. I was over there locked in last night with the karaoke with Jolie. So that's all. You ain't saying nothing but a word, brother. Shit, I bring the little mini mics over. Shit, we might get that done on Saturday. Might even do a barbershop talk. What you think about that? So you let me know. All right, man. Send me a message in the inbox. I'm heading up out of here.